YouTube hates the word fetish. Just saying it almost guarantees that you're going to get demonetized, maybe even age-gated. So talking about a game called Fetish Locator is pretty difficult. I learned this when I first covered this game 2 years ago, and YouTube is even more restrictive now than it was then. Which is a shame, because this game is one of the best explorations of sexuality that you can find on Steam. Everyone has different likes and dislikes, and Fetish Locator does an amazing job giving you options to choose or avoid while still weaving a coherent story. Usually the more forks and options a game gives you, the more the plot is negatively impacted. Each flavor you choose to remove or avoid can create a small gap in the greater narrative. Fetish Locator sidesteps this problem by making the various choices about what kind of content you engage with part of the story. Want to avoid a certain flavor? That's fine, but that choice is part of the story now, not just some optional scene that you skip over. Graphically, this game looks good. Development on Fetish Locator began in 2019, and the renders and animations get a lot better as you progress through the game. The music is nice, and there are ambient sounds and partial voicing, in addition to the sexual interactions having sound. Flavor-wise, this is a male protagonist experience with a mostly heterosexual focus. You will have many options about what you want to explore. This will include water sports, voyeurism, exhibitionism, group, harem, feet, romance, nenorate, notori, trans, femdom, homosexual, pregnancy, toys, and BDSM. I think the biggest flavor in Fetish Locator is power exchange. By making almost every one of your flavor choices part of the plot, it really feels like those choices matter beyond just missing out on a few optional scenes. I think for many people, this will encourage them to explore flavors they may not normally consider. With week 3 completed, we now have 6 endings. The developer said in April that work on the remaining 12 endings is ongoing. Quote, "We plan to work on them until the end of this year and maybe even further, until all 18 endings are implemented." End quote. It is likely that these updates will take the form of DLC. Does that mean that Fetish Locator is really completed? I mean, it is still better than Mass Effect 3's 3 different color endings, but I understand what some people will say. I'm just excited to see a popular adult content game from Patreon actually finish. I also expect to see some kind of sequel for Fetish Locator based on one of these endings come out in the future, but first we'll just have to see how well the upcoming prequel, Novello University, does when it releases on Steam. Overall, Fetish Locator does an amazing job of being a very popular college harem title, while still providing a huge number of other flavors to choose from. I highly recommend this game to anyone who likes visual novels that is looking for a more customized exploration of their sexual preferences. And if you're really lucky, you may even find a new flavor that you'll enjoy. Until next time, no shaming, just gaming. My first Fetish Locator review was one of Sex Positive Gaming's first videos. I've learned so much and met so many awesome people over the last 2 years, and I really appreciate everyone's support. Even though YouTube demonetizes all of these videos, I still think it's really important to talk about the importance of sex and sexuality in video games on YouTube because it allows me to reach so many people. That is why I'm so grateful to all of my patrons, especially Anon, Sludart, Tim Brockwell, Trude Perkins, Tyler Hunter, Lockhart, Bob Sellers, Xavieron, Gary, and Hikora. I have no idea where this channel would be without your continued support. Thank you all so much.